Okay. Hello, hello, hello! Please let me know in the chat if you can see everything, see me, hear me okay, all of the fun checks, because literally a new setup, so I want to make sure everything is working correctly. And also please let me know if the music is too loud, because I can turn that down too. I never know the level to which you guys like it, so. Hi, Manuela. Thank you. Okay. All right. So it's going to be quite the different night tonight. We are going to decorate some cookies, which we'll see how that goes. I did a practice one. I need to let it dry and then do another round, but yay! Oh, good. Okay. You will probably hear some crunch munchin'. I'm in my kitchen, and that's where the dog's food is. So whenever I'm in the kitchen, doesn't matter. They come in and they will graze. So fair warning, you'll probably see them, hear them. Such is life. So this is going to be kind of like a cozy little live tonight, and we're just going to decorate some cookies, be chill, talk about, I don't know, Christmas, Yule, holiday memories, whatever you guys feel like talking and chatting about. But I'm still trying to figure out whether or not for the week of, like, starting from the solstice through if or when I'm going to be going live. I'm still trying to figure out family plans. So I'll keep you updated on all of that. Just chaos. And I also have some videos that I've been working on too. I got to get those edited and up for you guys. So things are rolling along. So yay. All right. So hello, if you're new here, hi. My name is Natasha. It's fantastic to have you here. I don't normally do baking videos, but tonight we are going to decorate some holiday cookies. So I have a few different shapes. This is not even it. These were actually penguin cookie cutters, but I inverted them or rotated them. So they're going to be reindeer. So these little guys are going to be ears. This is going to be the mouth and the nose. And these guys are going to be the little antlers. These are going to be some wreaths. I've got some plaques here that we can maybe do just like a Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas on, or like Happy Yule with a Yule log. Then I got, your typical candy canes. And of course we have to have the snowflakes. This one kind of got a little crazy. And I'm going to try to do some Baby Yoda / Grogu cookies. This was an angel cookie cutter that I just hacked the head off. And then I have some Christmas trees, and I have some mittens that we can do. So, hi practicing human, how are you? Yeah, we're just gonna have a chill night. So, I don't know if many of you are familiar with decorating cookies, or if this is a tradition for most of you. It started off as a tradition for me and my family with my mom and with my grandma, only they didn't look half as good as hopefully what we're going to do here. It was just taking a butter knife and spreading the frosting on the shapes and then just adding crazy sprinkles to it. So we're doing more adult cookies today. As well as there's different frosting for the different royal icing consistencies. So there's always like a flood, which is like where it kind of just is a runny and you can pour it. There's like a medium consistency where you can do outlines. And then there's a stiff consistency, which this is kind of between a stiff and a medium. I have a hard time squeezing if it's too stiff. So I just don't worry about it. And plus when it dries and it crusts over, it's like too hard to bite through. So I like to keep my frosting a little bit more pliable. But yeah, so we've got a bunch of different colors here. We've got a bunch of different things. We got some sprinkles. I even have some different sized eye sprinkles for the reindeer. So we'll just see how it goes. But the thing about decorating cookies, hi Syrian, is that it's a time-consuming process. If you want to have different layers or different, more like 3D looking effect with your frosting, you have to do one section at a time and wait and then go back over. So that's kind of like what's happening here with the wreath. Is I put down one layer and then we're going to go back over it once this kind of crusts over a little bit, and add another little leaf layer so that way the frosting can support the other one. And yeah, it's a time-consuming process. I spent all day yesterday baking. And then like 2 days before I made the dough, but the baking took, forever because you can only have so many on a pan, etc. So it's just a big thing. It's a big ordeal. So for me, I like giving them as gifts. I like bringing them to places. I always bring something to somebody's house whenever I visit. Doesn't matter what the holiday is or the event. It's just I'm always bringing something. And cookies are a great way of doing that because it's something that, gift from the heart. You made it yourself. It's handmade. Yeah, I didn't know they made eyeball sprinkles either. Hi, Christy. And I found this. I made Doug cookies for my niece, and I was looking for certain sprinkles to add, and I made the face of Doug, and I used those sprinkles for his eyes because I was like, oh, it's kind of more cartoony that way. They have so many different like crazy sprinkles out there now, and like it's just a matter of where can you find them and are they in stock. All right, so I think I'm going to continue on with the first layer of the wreaths, and then we'll move on to some other things, and this way you can kind of see the different techniques that you can use. And I kind of like this idea of doing this live because I know a lot of you wanted a video of me decorating cookies, but I feel like this way it's like you're in the kitchen with me and you're like hanging out with me as I'm doing it. And it's not as boring. I think, if I'm doing a video, it's going to be more of a like tutorial, and then there's a lot of like, it's going to be like a 6-minute video. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, so what I also have for decorating is you're going to want something that looks like this. I think they call it a scribe, but it's more of like a needle point. You can use a toothpick. You can use anything with a point, really. Here's another one that has a scraper on the end. Should you mess up, you can juice it off. And it's all in what you're comfortable with using. I also have a edible marker here, just in case we wanted to add like eyes for Baby Yoda or something like that. I need to stop calling him Baby Yoda. I know his name is Grogu, but I'm so used to calling him Baby Yoda that it's ridiculous. I also have a pair of sanitized, disinfected tweezers that are only for cooking, baking, to get the little sprinkles to put them on. Highly recommend. Get yourself a pair of tweezers. And then, so I wanted to tell you what this was for. So when you flood the cookie to make it all one color, you're going to want to get those bubbles out. And this makes sure that you get the bubbles out and also to spread it where it needs to go. And you'll see how that works. A towel that's damp. I use a squirt bottle and spray it so it's not like sopping wet. And then you can scrape off that scribe if you have frosting on it or your tips. And that's another thing for the wreath here. I have a leaf tip. I don't know if it's going to focus. No. Okay, cat's gone. They saw the cat out the outdoor cat. Okay. Y'all are loud. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me turn my mic off while they do this. So there's a stray cat that comes into our backyard and teases them on the slider door, and then they run and chase because they can see them out the window. It's a whole thing. How do they look so uniform and perfect? Hi, Ashley. Practice and knowing your oven and how the temperature works. Like certain ovens will heat at a higher level. Mine typically does, like you say it's 350, but I feel like it's not exactly 350, it's lower. And then I just check on them. So sometimes the smaller cookies you'll put in for a lot less of a time, and the larger cookies like this you'll add some more time. So typically with this type of sugar cookie, it'll be like a 6 to 10 minute in the oven, depending on how big the cookie is. And then some people like to decorate the bottom. I don't, because sometimes I can still see, and like the bottom's where it's level. Oh, expanded. Okay, so when that happens, they don't keep their shape because they're not in the refrigerator long enough. So once you cook or mix the dough together, make the dough, wrap it in saran wrap or plastic wrap, put it in the freezer for at least, or the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. And then that way the butter, the butter in the batter will solidify a little bit. And when you go to roll it out, you can stamp the cookie cutters in and it will hold its shape a lot better in the oven. If you don't refrigerate your dough, it's going to expand and warp, and it's not going to create the shape that you're looking for with the cookie cutter. And also it's the amount of time you put it in the oven as well. Yes, Manuel, yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, the dogs, they are a way of life. They are a lifestyle. So, it is what it is. All right, so we have the leaf tip, and it kind of has like a W cut out. And so when that cutout is like that, you can actually create this pattern that you see there. So we're just gonna, and you can manipulate the tip to where it, whoop, to where you want it to have the little vein. The only problem with these tips and the royal icing is sometimes the tip will get clogged with the thicker consistency. And so with the leaf tip, you want to create a base. So hold it there for a little bit and then pull out. And then you'll create that leaf shape. And it takes a lot of practice and being okay with misshapen leaves. Hi, Millie, welcome. And having like a cookie turntable is really beneficial. I have a cake turntable, but it's really big and it's really, it's a stand, so it stands up really high. So it only works well for cakes, really, for me. And then whenever you're adding sprinkles, whoop, you want to add the sprinkles when your frosting is still wet. So I've got these little red sprinkles here that we're just going to, we'll find the areas where we need to hide some cracks. All right, music, what happened to you? There we go. And then just make sure you stick them on real good, because sometimes they'll just hit right on the surface like that and they can just fall right off. So I like to kind of press them in. And I also do like I know it's like a design term and I can't think of what it is, but it's like the 3-5-7 rule, where if you're doing any sort of placement of anything eye-catching, you want to place them in 3s or 5s or 7s. Like odd numbers look more pleasing to the eye. And then I just swap them, keep going. Yeah, they're really easy. I just use Wilton's Royal Icing recipe. It's 4 cups powdered sugar sifted, and then 5 tablespoons of water and 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. And meringue powder is an egg white substitute. So in case anybody's like allergic to egg whites, or for whatever reason can't have egg whites, it's a great substitute. It keeps a lot better. And you don't have to like mix it up yourself. So it is a little bit more on the pricier side for the amount that you get, but for me it's worth it. And then I usually make, if I'm gonna make cookies, I make at least 2 dozen cookies. So I'll double the frosting recipe. So usually 1 bag of powdered sugar, if you're in the States, is equal to 4 cups, around there. So about 2 bags of confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, will do the trick. Trying to think of all my other little tips. Oh, so with the consistencies for your icing, whether you want it flat or thick or whatever, I used to eyeball it with the water. I would just like tablespoon it in. But what I found really helpful, and I cannot remember who taught me. I know I saw it in like a tutorial video, not Tasty, but something like that, where they used a squirt bottle and they filled it with warm water, and then they would just squirt the water in the bowl. I use like little ramekins like this, but bigger, to mix my different colors and my consistency. So I'll just squirt the squirt bottle in the bowl and mix until I get the consistency I want. And a lot of the times, it's super easy. It takes a little bit more time, but you're not over watering it down, and you can get the exact kind of frosting that you want by doing that. And now I feel really bad that I don't remember who taught me that, but they'll know if they see this video. Oh, we have Santa. And I just do my leaves every which way. I'm a bit of perfectionist when it comes to certain things, but if you want it to look organic, you kind of can't make it look perfect, because anything in nature is perfect in its own way, but it's not going to be perfect like a manufactured wreath. I'm kind of nervous about trying to do Baby Yoda. Not gonna lie. I've been meaning to do this since The Mandalorian started, and I never got around to it. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. Hi, Leanne! Thanks! Yeah, I want to do like a little inner layer. And I love the sugar cookies, but I do not like the frosting. It's too sweet for me. And I've got a sweet tooth. It's too much. And then I don't like these kinds of sprinkles because they're too hard. But these cookies aren't for me. So anything to make them look pretty. And I thought about doing like a red bow on the inside, but I think I don't want to mess these up. I think they'll look a lot nicer with just the sprinkles on them. Do you guys decorate or have any kind of baking tradition for the holidays? Oh, thanks, Christy. Yeah, I've made a lot of different sugar cookies in my time. Lots for birthdays. I remember doing wine and cheese for my friend's wine bar anniversary, which was fun. I like experimenting and seeing what I can practically do. I know my limits, but at the same time, I like to push them creatively. I like to see, how versatile I can get with a specific cookie cutter, like what I can get out of it. Like, for instance, this penguin is now a reindeer. I had a ice cream cone, and I made that into an ice cream cone cookie cutter, and I made that into a microphone. All right, all gone. My kids are grown and I have fibromyalgia. Christy, same here. I have fibromyalgia. It's fun, isn't it? I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's definitely, I have to break up my process between a few days. So like for my cookie dough, I'll make the cookie dough, and then the next day I'll probably make the frosting, and then the next day I will decorate. And that's what happened this week. So when I put the poll out, whether you guys wanted to do it tonight, I was like, oh, thank God. Because then I don't have to rush. However, I am very, very flared. I'm not going to lie. My back is on fire. But there's a lot of reasons for that. The weather here is horrendous. It's about to storm, I feel like. And so whenever it's going to rain or it's super cold, my back and muscles are like, hi, you want to feel like you're on fire for a while? And then, so I think it's about to rain. It's very, very windy and it's very, very cold. Hi, Bubba, you cannot right now, baby. You've already had your stuff. I know there's a Kit Kat out there. I know. So I have a lot of people in my life that are like, oh, you should, try to go work in a bakery or, set up your own little Etsy bakery thing. And I'm like, no, I cannot. There would be no way. I could not conceivably do this every day. It just wouldn't be physically possible. However, I do like doing it, and I like having the ability to make them for events or make them for family and friends, but there's no way I would want to do this for a living because I would hate it. Just because of the sheer amount of physical work that it is. Oh no! God. All right, well, sprinkles down. See, this is what happens. Everything is clean. Don't worry. I do not do anything food-wise that isn't disinfected or clean. But anyway, point being is that it's a lot of work to be in the kitchen, whether you're cooking, whether you're baking, and then throw on top of that, a chronic illness. It's just, it can be rough. And not a lot of people are aware of how debilitating it can be, and or they don't quite understand why maybe one day you can function really well and then the next day you're just like, I'm in bed, I am not getting out, and you cannot make me, and I'm not doing anything. So then you get a lot of those people that are like, well, are you really sick? You can't be that sick if you can go and do this one day and then you can, are you faking it? Yada, yada. I've heard it all. So it's just your tolerant level about what you can, reasonably do. So all of that to say is that fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, anything like that, that is a serious issue. And I feel like a lot of the times with the holidays, when it comes around, that it's even more debilitating because you want to do all of these things and you want to participate, but it's just so draining. It takes so much out of you. You know, if you're especially like, if you're the mom and you're in charge of, you know, cooking the dinner and baking and gift shopping and all of this and everything else, like, how do you flip and do it? Like, you find it within you to get it done, and then you're out for the next week. So, I feel for you because I can understand. I can relate. Yeah, it's not fun. No baking traditions for us. We also have a large household with a really small kitchen, so baking anything tends to be a hassle. Oh, yeah. I can understand that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. Post office. That's awesome, though. Much respect. Oh, did you find some sprinkles on the floor? Of course you did. Oh. Yeah, you know what, Christy? I've had mine around the same time, actually. Yeah. Yeah, 2011, 2012. I first started having symptoms 2011. And it was my back. It started in my back. And then for a whole year, I went to specialists. I went to, you name it, I tried it. And no one could figure out what was wrong with me. I went to one doctor who had me on like 10 different prescriptions. And then she kept thinking I was like a hypochondriac. I was like, look, no, like chronic illness runs in my family. So like when I'm telling you that like I have it on both sides of my family, can you look into that for me, please? Like, and it was like literally had to like change doctors so many times because everyone was giving up on me. And I'm like, when I first started having symptoms, I was 24 or 25. Yeah. And they were just like, oh, you know, what's wrong with you? You're like in the prime of your life. Like, you can't be sick. And I'm like, actually, I can't stand. And like when I lift my arms, like it's agony. Like, so I don't know what your definition of prime is, but sure isn't this. So, yeah, it's one of these days I need to make a video about it and like being an advocate for yourself, but it's kind of also very much like a can of worms that I don't really like to open too much. Like I get really upset looking back at how long I had to endure certain things, and I get it. It's like, it's the system, and a lot of people have to deal with not only what we're dealing with, but sometimes in some cases even worse things. So, luckily, I feel like a lot of it is like reasonably I can function, but like it still sucks. Like I feel like I had a whole decade of my life just gone, and so it's one of those things that I still kind of mourn about, and I have done a lot of shadow work about it, but it's tough. And it's even more tough this time of year. And a lot of it is like, ugh, I don't even want to be social. Okay, anyway, we're going to be talking about positive things now. So I'm going to try to see if this one, see how it's crusted over, and you can kind of tell the difference. It's not as glossy as that one. I'm going to try to just like do a little more of a 3D version here. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, I don't want to do a ribbon. That's better. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. Did I plan any of this in advance? Nope. I fly by the seat of my pants most of the time. I did manage, however, to make extra frosting, so I do have a little bit left over. All right, while the rest of those crust over, and that's such a weird way of saying it, but that's what it's doing, I guess we'll move on. I kind of want to wait for these to make sure I have enough of the green to go around. I'm going to regret it if I don't do it now. Okay. I think I'll have enough. So we'll do the reindeer next, I think. And then see at least his face and see how that goes. And then I'll show you a really cool technique on the mittens. I really like making the mittens. I think they're great for anybody that you know, because we all know it's cold and we all wear some form of mittens. Gloves, mittens. Okay. Running low on that. It's supposed to rain. I'm not ready for that. I mean, I am. I'm grateful we need it, but like I don't want it to storm. I'm very happy. We earlier this year we had one of our sides of our fence blow down from a storm in January, and it took almost half of the year to get it fixed. So like the last little storm that we just had, my husband and I were just like, oh my God, like it's so nice to not have to worry about the fence falling down. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. 2021 sure was a thing. All right, so this is going to be more of like a medium consistency. I don't know. I've never made this reindeer before, so we'll see how it goes. I want to do the ears. I'll do the face first and then the ears after the face kind of crusts a little bit, so that way it gives it a little bit more definition and a little bit of a pop. Yeah, invisible illnesses are like really difficult to navigate because, yeah, you don't look sick and then people don't understand but yeah, unless you go through it, you don't really get it. Ooh, this might be too thin. That's all right. We're playing around. All right, so what I do is I kind of just fill it enough, and then I go in with my little scribe tool. We're gonna get this guy off. And then you just, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right, there we go. So you can move the frosting where you want it. And then you make sure that all of the bubbles are out. Okay, and then another way that you can do it is you can kind of tap it on the table or you can shake it. I tend to like to shake it a little bit. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right, let's see. You're probably not going to be able to see for a second. And you can use piping bags, or these little bottles. I found these at, I don't know, Marshall's or something similar, for next to nothing. And they work pretty great. Piping bags work, but sometimes they're a little hard to control. But normally, if you see professional cookie decorators, they will take more of a medium consistency frosting, outline it first, let that kind of settle, and then go back in and fill it. I don't have that kind of time or that kind of patience. I'm not making different consistency frostings. I'm just not. So if it's gonna work for me, that's fine. This one's already melting over. Oh, that's awesome. 3 to 6 months you got diagnosed. That's awesome. That's quite fast. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really like I like decorating. I like being crafty. I say it all the time, but this channel was supposed to be a crafting channel, and it just diverged into spirituality, and that's fine, because it's another love of mine. So I find myself on a lot of different... I do a lot of different hobbies. Like I'm interested in very many things, and the crafting thing was kind of like when I was going through my diagnosis and dealing with all of that, crafting and spirituality was kind of like my way of dealing. Simon, no, baby, no. I know. Hey, you've got your food. Don't even. I know. Daddy put the chicken away. You can't have the chicken. My husband likes to go to Costco to get the rotisserie chicken because I'm a vegetarian, and he doesn't eat meat that often, and when he does, it's usually chicken. And so he'll go to Costco and just get the chicken, and he'll bring it home, and the animals all just diverge onto where he's at and bug until they get it. Buddy, no. I don't know what you're begging for, but it's nothing I have for you. I don't got anything for you. I have this set on like a Christmas channel, and it's kind of like very it's got a bunch of different kind of style on it. I don't mind it, but I was just like, oh, this is like 8-bit. All right. I don't know how these are going to turn out, but we'll see. Yeah, color in the lines, but with frosting. Absolutely. And then too, you can use the edible marker to draw your lines on your cookies before you frost and like get a little bit more consistency that way. Look at me, I don't even have a rhyme or reason. But again, like for this, we're just chilling. Have a feeling my mom's gonna just eat these when I see her next, so they're not for anybody in particular, so I don't care if these aren't perfect. These would be cute with like the antlers, and then you like have the little string of lights put through them, like woven through the antlers. I know. I don't know what to tell you. Get down. You're gonna hurt yourself. Get down. I know. You tell me all about it. Oh, really? You gonna say hi? Oh, you popping up to say hi? Tell me that you're just so mistreated, that you don't get any treats, or... I know. You tell him. You just say, oh, I don't get anything I beg for. Oh, Simon, you are you're the most spoiledest dog. Did you know that? You have a roof over your head, you have snuggy times, you have all the toys and the treats in the world. Every time you beg, mommy gives you something. Yeah, knock that off. I swear. They're just like little toddlers. Like they think that, oh, if I bat my eyelashes a little bit and tell you how much I'm mistreated, that I'm missing out on everything. Huh. not chocolate either. This is just food coloring, but it does look like it's chocolate. Oh, thank you, Mystic Moon. I really appreciate that. I really do. I honestly, most of the time, a little secret, I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of think, well, if I would like to watch it, then that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm a planner, but I really, there's no planning when it comes to this channel. Like, I have ideas and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't go as I have planned them. But honestly, like, I don't know. I can't go back to like what I used to do. So like, I honestly love what I do. I love just being on this channel and on this journey with you guys. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot, not where I thought I would be. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't ever think that like, oh, like this is going to be a career path for me, but somehow that happened and I'm not mad at it. I was always very nervous that like people wouldn't like what I had to say. With fibromyalgia, and probably Christy, you can relate, but like your words don't come out the way that you want them to most of the time. And there's this thing called brain fog where like you're trying to think, like, you know exactly what you want to say, but it's not coming out how you want to say it, or the words, like you just completely forget the word. So a lot of times I talk with my hands, and how I kind of been getting through the brain fog is like the people in my inner circle who spend a lot of time with me, who know, you know, what I talk about and, you know my mannerisms and stuff. I'll be like, okay, you know that thing that you do this with, and like, you know, the hot thing, the thing with the steam, and you just do, and they're like, oh, you know, a kettle. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the kettle. So like you find ways of working around it and figuring it out, but like it sure put me in a funk when I started this channel, because I was like, they're gonna hear me stumble over words, they're gonna hear me, you know, not say everything completely correct. And then I just was like, you know what? They'll get the message. Like, the people who want to sit and learn and listen from me, they're the ones that are going to stay, and that's what's important. And so there's little things that I've had to like psych myself up for, and kind of like get out of my own way, because, you know, like I never really wanted to show my face on the camera. I never wanted to like show any of myself on the camera, just my hands and all of that. And then I was like, that's really limiting, very limiting. And you know, why do I not want to show my face? Like, it's who I am. You know, at the time when I first started the channel, I was still working, and so that was a huge part of it. Like, I didn't want like my employers knowing, or like employees, or like any of that kind of thing. Plus, like, you know, sometimes we don't like how we look, and at the time I was not liking the way I was looking. So it's things like that. And so I was really getting in my own way. Then, you know, 2020 happened, and, you know, didn't care anymore. Yeah, I talk to my dogs like they're my kids, because they are. They very much know what we're talking about too. Mint chocolate is delicious. We love the Andes mints, especially I think there's the dark chocolate ones, if I remember correctly. I don't care if it's mint chocolate, I'm gonna take it. And caramel. Yeah, he's my pain in the butt, my old man. He likes things a certain way, and if they're not in his routine, he will bug until, you know, so like this is not normal. This is not a normal routine thing where I'm like doing my live out here. So he's like, what the heck? What are you doing? This is not right. Like, something's wrong. Let's fix this. Absolutely. Yeah, fibro fog is a thing, man. I'm telling you. Thank you, Manuela. Oh, I'm glad. I am glad. Okay, so while all of this kind of dries, I'm going to try to swap without ruining everything. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to stand up and try to like not break or move things. Watch me work. All right. Oh, this is dangerous. Swap. Okay. And now you go this way. No. I'm a professional. Ah, take that. All right. So let's do these mittens. Let's move these because I think I have to create some more green. All right, so with the mittens, there's a few different techniques that we can do. What I like to do is make the band, I have these like the sugar sprinkles, so it kind of makes them look a little furry. Or you can create like a ribbing effect. So let's see, what do we want to do? What colors? We've got blue. We'll do blue and white for the first one. Actually, oh, good boys. I also have these little pearls. Let's see. All right. What? So, for instance, all right, if this is going to be the same music playing over and over, we might have to change the channel. And then what I also like to do with these bottles is put a cup on the table and then just keep them tipped upside down so that the frosting is always there at the tip. But I did not prepare accordingly, so did not put a cup over here. Put a cup on her booty. Sorry. All right, so we have our little ribbed layer, but instead we're gonna just put the little sprinkles on. Oh, Jesus. And then shake it off into the little cup, and then you can reuse the sprinkles so they don't go all over. And just like that, we've got a little fluffy trim. Yeah, that's what that is, trim. All right, I gotta change this music. Sorry, guys, it's driving me crazy. All right. So sorry. We'll do this one instead. Yeah, this community is amazing. Everybody here is just fantastic, and you guys that keep, coming back on the lives and chatting with me, it's just, love it. I feel like we're all like besties. Oh, no, don't you throw a tantrum. So Simon, when he wants my attention, he'll go to something that he knows he's not supposed to touch, like a plant stand, a plant, those types of things. And he'll, Pot, Mommy, pay attention to me. You are fine. Look, you have your dinner right over there. Go eat it. Lord, child, killing me. All right, let's keep going here. Mint chocolate is life. We went to Costco and we're always at Costco, man. And they had their gift boxes on sale, and you know, it's just my husband and I here, so you know, we don't typically buy like big portioned items, but they had the chocolate, the Belgian chocolate boxes, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good, like, you know, nice chocolate, delicatessen type, you know, gourmet, that's the word I'm looking for. And he's like, oh, you know, that sounds good, do you want it? I was like, I don't need that. He's like, but I do. So he ended up bringing that home, and I looked inside. I was like, "Oh, this is really nice." No mint chocolate though. They just had they had a caramel. They had like this like coffee bean one. We kind of do the thing where one takes a bite of it and then gives the other one to the other person. So leave the kitty cats alone. There's a new cat that's been coming around and likes to tease the boys. So it's a little orange and white cat. And he's really he's not as skittish as I thought he would be, but I mean, he's still you know, definitely is a stray. And so especially when it's storming out, we like to have little food bowls out, or you know, I know, you tell me that cat's there. Food bowls out and like shelter things for them, because you never know if they have a home or not, and I always feel bad. And we're trying to think of better ways to create shelters for them out here. We have a shed that we find one particular one in there. Baby, I know. You have food. Don't act like you're not bud. You're fine. Anyway, so we have a shed and they can get in it, and so we've put like food bowls in there, and or no, not food bowl, water bowl, and then like old robes and blankets in there for them. And the dogs can't get in, so they're quite safe. But at the same time, we're like, what else can we do? It's heartbreaking sometimes. Okay, so then you can take your medium consistency and kind of just zigzag and create like a knit look for a ribbing. And that's obviously gonna be just like flooded into each other, but just giving you an example is what you can do to create a little bit of that texture. And yeah, it's gonna just be one one solid piece. That's okay. Dude, I know. Why are you being crazy? Why are you being crazy? Yeah. Well, yeah. I know there's a kitty cat out there, and there's nothing I can do about it. You're not gonna go chase it. We're trying to get you to like cats. Yeah, see? It kind of just meshed together. But anyway, that's the technique. And then I like to create a knit looking pattern. I know, boys, I know. You guys are just not going to let me function tonight, are you? You're just not gonna let me do it, huh? Well, stop getting all worked up, crazies. So this doesn't have to be perfect, because what we're gonna do is use the tool to drag the colors together. I'm too focused on the dogs right now to be focused on the cookies. Ain't that always how it works? So you kind of just make these striped lines here. And then you take your tool. See, I don't know if you'll be able to see if I do it this way. You just drag it through. Back and forth, and it'll create that knit look. But you can only do this when it's still wet. If you have it dried and crusted over, it's gonna be a hot mess. It's not quite filled out there, but it'll do the trick. I always have like practice cookies. Like the first one that I do is like considered a practice cookie, and I do not give that out when I make them for somebody else, because I'm like, it's not good enough. All right, let's do some red. Aw, thanks. Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes it's stressful though, I'm not gonna lie. Especially like when I try new things and I'm like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna like it, but a lot of the times I will, get a general consensus from the people who I know, like for you guys, like the ones that I have regular contact with. And if you guys are into the idea, then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it then. And it's not always about like views for me, which it is, because that's how, this works. But, I also, it's important for me to like be creative and be able to be creative in my own way. And if it doesn't go over, then that's fine. But like, it's important to me sometimes to put out certain videos, like the decorating the tree video. And then there's like other videos that, aren't typically, what my channel is for, but I enjoy it. And it gives me like an outlet to do these things, which is why I made the second channel. And I need to get back to making content on that one. But I've been so focused on this channel for the past couple months, just because, the holidays, and we all kind of like the same content that I would be putting on the other channel. So, but the other channel is going to be more of like more crafting and more of me just talking about stuff. Like I still plan on making that fibromyalgia video, because I know a lot of you suffer similar, have similar, experiences. And I think it's important to talk about it. But it's also one of those things that I have to be in the right frame of mind for, and like okay with being in a kind of a down mood after that happens, because it's a very personal thing. And I'm quite open with everybody. Like what you see is what you get. Like there's really not anything that I haven't felt uncomfortable sharing with you guys. Except, personal details. Like, I honestly am quite the open book. However, it's just what you guys, like, want to know within reason. And that would go on the other channel. Just because I do have to work the algorithm and the YouTube gods. And so, things like this, if I were to have made this as an actual video, it wouldn't spread as far to all of my subscribers, just strictly on the content. But so it's weird how the algorithm works. So anything about tarot, spirituality, that's already ingrained in my channel, so it will go out to those subscribers. But if I do anything else, like, it's like it won't pass it along to everybody, only people that YouTube thinks would be interested in it, right? So if you have the notifications set, you're more likely to see all of the videos that I put out. However, things like this, it probably wouldn't have gone out to everybody. So that's why I made the second channel. Hi, Parth. Thanks. Happy holidays to you too. Oh yeah, it does kind of look like a little candy cane. And then it just takes some practice with your line work. And I'm really rusty. It's been a couple months since I've decorated cookies, so I am very rusty. And also, hands are not doing well right now, but we work around it. We figure it out. You can also make the lines thinner and closer together, and you get a different texture that way. It's just fun to play around and see what you get out of it. And if you're fine with it not being, perfect, even better. I'm trying to make it so I don't block with my hands here. And I love cake decorating too, so maybe we'll do a cake decorating night. There's just so many things that I want to do, and then, like, don't get around to being able to actually execute them. And then I'm like, Natasha, dude, there's only so many days in the month. You can do it next year. It's like, I have a really hard time with time, and I feel like there's more of it than there actually is sometimes. And I don't know if anybody can relate, but it's just, there's too thick of them. There we go. But I feel like obviously everybody knows the older you get, the quicker time goes. But at the same time, like, I honestly, during the day, I don't know where the time goes. Like, I'll be working on something, and then the time blindness sets in, and I'm like, oh. And then it's even worse when it's daylight saving time. And, you're looking out the window, and it's 4 o'clock, and it's already dark, and it feels like it's 8 o'clock when it's actually still 4 o'clock. And so it just throws you off even more. So yeah, I know I overdo a lot of it, And like, I think that I can just do so many things at one time, and in reality it's like, it doesn't work like that. My mind it like overclocks. It's like, oh yeah, we can totally do all of this. Oh yeah. Yeah. And like, my mind is the one over promising, and then my body's just like, But in reality, no, we really can't do that. Well, that one turned out really not good, but that's okay, as I just scrape it again. That's all right. Oh, come on. We got a little spurter. Just give up. There we go. Good thing I made more frosting, because I'm probably gonna need it. And we're not doing all these cookies tonight. There's no way. But I thought we would hang out and do a couple different ones here, see what will work, and give you guys a little bit of creative ideas for your guys' cookies. Did you want to do them this year? There's so many times where I'm like, I'm gonna bake, I'm gonna do this, and then like just the thought of it, I'm like, oh no. we're gonna not do that this year. I still have to go through I got the tarot dinner book or whatever it was that you guys recommended. And I did go through a little bit of it. And some of the recipes were really cool. And then some of them I'm like, there's no way I can do that. So I'll have to go through it again. It's been a minute. And then maybe for a live we can do like a dinner. Just like being able to, hang out with you guys in different ways and make it fun and interesting. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a person. And I think these holidays are particularly hard for a lot of us, with the last one being almost non-existent last year being almost non-existent. So I think this year a lot of people are hoping to get back on track with being able to spend time with their family and friends, and which is good, but at the same time, we still have to be very safe and very conscious about how we go about doing that. And then also we have to definitely make sure we are checking in with our mental health. And if you know that you're going to not be okay going somewhere, you need to be okay with saying no as well. It's hard to do, but your mental health is worth way more, and your actual health, well, you know what I mean, like your physical health is way more important than spending an evening or a weekend with people, So just check in with yourselves and make sure that, you're okay. And so doing something like this is just very nice, to be able to like spend time with people and not be with people. Like, I actually miss going, to bars and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm like, that means I'd have to get dressed up and, like, actually be around people. And then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay home anyway. But yeah, my mental health, definitely, I've been checking in on myself a lot. Just making sure that I'm not heading towards burnout. I'm doing okay, and that, I'm not letting things that I can't control get the better of me. And it's hard, but it's important. And it's not just a spirituality thing either. It's like, the way that our lives are set up right now, it's very difficult to go about certain things, and you just want to make sure that, if you don't have your mental health in check, it makes everything that much more difficult, just like, physical health. And this time of year can be very triggering for a lot of people, regardless of, the panini and all of that. So just be gracious with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. If you know that certain things are going to upset you or put you or trigger you, be conscious of that and find an escape route, or find a way to make it easier on yourself. Because a lot of the times we only think about other people and how we affect other people, and we very rarely think about how those people affect us or those situations affect us. So just be very kind to yourself. And if this is the season that you say, I can't deal, then this is the season you can't deal. And it's okay to make an excuse. It's okay to say no and, stay in and watch your favorite movie instead, or read your favorite book, or, again, there are always going to be people in your life that are like, oh, I don't understand why you can't just, come and hang out with us for a little bit. But then you have to look at it like they really don't get it. They don't understand what you're going through. And the holidays bring out all of that. And so this is just me saying that I see you, I am aware, and that's why we're doing this tonight. So if you can't handle or can't be with family, we are family. I'm your auntie now. I give you the biggest hug. You are welcome in my kitchen. So yeah, that was a long tangent. I'm sorry. But I've been thinking about that a lot lately, about how, like, times definitely have been changing for the better and for the worse for a lot of us. And we've just been expected to roll with it. And that's not something that we've been able to really talk about, with family and friends, and things can be very explosive, and just by having the conversation, it can create tension or drama or all of that. So just be very kind to yourself. If this is a year that you can't face it and deal with it, then it's a year that you can stay home and do some self-care in whatever that looks like for you. I know for me personally, we're trying to figure out, what the holidays are going to look like, and we've been trying to figure that out forever, and it's always changing because you just don't know. And again, sometimes if you say no, it doesn't mean that that you don't love your significant family or your friends, or what that looks like for you. It just means that you can't right now. You can't deal, and that's okay. I think what's great too about like, at least my generation and down, younger, is that we're getting really comfortable with talking about our mental health or our feelings, and accepting other people's feelings and emotional limits, and that it, you know, it's not seen as something negative. It's seen as like, okay, we're gonna validate that. Gen Z, man, they're gonna just take over the world, and I mean that with the best compliment, because they're very open, they're very aware, they're very self-aware a lot of the times too, just by, you know, seeing all of the TikToks that I've seen and the Gen Zers that I come across. They're just very with it, and they get it. And, you know, I think it's a fantastic thing. I keep banging my cookies. And I think it's a great little reminder too for us to be more vocal about how we feel. And there's nothing, like, I don't get people who say that that's a bad thing. Like, it's not. It's a very positive thing. If you, like, there's a difference between, you know, it's how you tactfully say it and how you go about saying it, right? It's not like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this because I don't like you, or you don't make me, you know, like, fill in the blank. But if you just come out and say, like, I can't, I don't have the mental capacity to deal with it, and they're just like, yeah, okay, that's valid. Awesome. So anyway, I'm so sorry. I go on crazy tangents, but that's what you're here for. Ooh, tiny M&Ms. Yes, that would be fantastic. I don't have any. Sorry, now I'm going to catch up with all the comments. Terrible with time management. Yeah. Yeah, December, like, I can't. I'm in California. Oh, you made cookies today too, Molly? Oh, hey, the fact that you made them, that's what counts, right? Yeah, dressing up is exhausting. Yep, people pleaser. I am the same way. I hate saying no. Like, I feel like I'm just like devastating the other person if I say no, or if, like, I'm always one of those people that tries to, like, fit everybody else's stuff in my schedule, and it's like, okay, but what about me? Like, I also need to focus on myself too and give myself a chance to, like, rest and heal. And what's funny is, in a lot of my tarot readings that I do for myself, that always comes up. It's like, hello, are you not resting? And it's like, yeah, no, I don't. I know you need to tell me that, but I don't. But yeah, it's definitely a fine line, right? Hey, you gotta splurge every now and then. Okay, so while we were at Costco, we got the chocolates and we got the big tin of the Danish cookies. I've already gone through half of it. I'm not even joking. Like, they're so addicting. And, like, I don't normally keep a lot of sweets in the house for that reason. I have, like, a huge sweet tooth. And so, like, for instance, with these cookies, if I frost them, I won't eat them. I won't touch them. It was so hard for me to not touch them. But that's what I mean. Like I'm trying to be better about like how much sweets I consume. And I was doing really good, but the holidays always get me. They always get me. The food map, I haven't heard about that. Yeah, exactly, Rochelle. Yeah. Um, I think there's ways to do it, of being there for somebody else while you're going through it, but it has to be almost like a mutual thing. Like, yeah, I can talk to you tonight, but like I'm going to need to vent too, or you know, I can do this for you, but like at the same time, like I'm going to need like a couple days before I can do that for you. Like there has to be a mutual understanding with that too. It's very hard, and there's a very fine line. Especially when there's multiple people going through it with you. Like it's, these past couple years have been rough, and I can't believe it's now plural years with what has been going on. And like we're going into 2022 in a couple weeks, and I can't process that. I'm still processing 2019. Like I feel like this 2020 and 2021, like they just were all 1 year, and it hasn't even been a full year yet. Does that make sense? Like, I can't process it. I cannot, like, literally, and I know it's probably like trauma or PTSD from everything, but like I literally cannot fathom the fact that like we are now going into 2022. It's mind-boggling for me. Thanks. Oh, I've tried the keto diet too, which helped for a little bit, but being a vegetarian, it was way too hard. Way too hard. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to, I think, the reindeer now. We'll bring that one back. Okay, watch me just screw up all of this again. You know what? Actually, we're just gonna swap the cookies. I am not even gonna attempt to try to do the tray thing again. I know my limits. I just smushed him. It's alright. Alright, we'll try these guys again. See how these work. As I bang everything in the process. Yeah, warped time, absolutely. Make a 2022 also. We're gonna put 2022 on the back burner right now, because we're mad at 2022. Is that how reindeer's ears look? I don't know. It's gonna look like that for now. Yeah, so I tried it. I tried being vegetarian and keto, and oh, hi Isha. Thank you for subbing. It was very, very hard, and I got really bored of the food really fast, and I also didn't like I have a hard time with diets. I don't really like diets anymore. Like, not that I really ever did, but like I have a hard time with diets because I don't like to feel restricted. And so then the thing with keto was that I felt like every time I went over the carb limit, like I would have to restart, ketosis over again. And it was just too much. It was just like, why do I feel like I shouldn't be shaming myself for having like a cracker, So it was very difficult for me, and I can see it working for a lot of people and benefiting a lot of people. Like, it made sense. The science to me made sense. But not when you're vegetarian. It was just, it didn't work. I ate a lot of broccoli and a lot of cauliflower and a lot of cheese. There were some things that I liked about it. But again, like, I was finding myself eating the same things all the time, and it just got really repetitive and boring. And again, like, I have been finding myself just not liking the idea of being told what I can and can't eat. And so I did Noom, and I really liked it for a hot minute. And then again, like, I just still feel like I'm being told what to eat and like how to do it, which again, not a bad thing, but my personality is like, oh, you're telling me I can't do that? Well, I'm going to go do the thing anyway. Or like, I just don't like to feel like I'm being told no. And like, their whole thing is like, you can eat whatever you want within reason, as long as you're, following the steps, which, cool. All right. Got that. But I'm the type of person that cannot sit there and log everything. My mind just doesn't work like that. As much as I try and I tell myself like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. So it got too much. Like, it was too much. And then the articles that they wanted you to read, I don't know. Would I do it again? Probably. But at the same time, like, it also feels like counterintuitive. Like, it feels almost like the more I was doing it, the more I didn't like myself. And like, diet culture is just toxic in general. And as long as you're doing things as long as you're nourishing your body and you're not overeating, then things will be okay. It's just being conscious about what you're putting in your body and how much of it you're putting in your body, and are you getting regular exercise, and are you getting enough sleep. All of those things that are basic 101 diet things, or health things I should say, they really do make a difference. But what I hated about the Noom is that they made you step on the scale every day, and they said to help you get over the fear of the scale. And in my head, I'm like, no, that's... While I can understand your point, at the same time, some people who are not in a good relationship with the scale would take that offensively and just not be okay with it. Your body fluctuates weight all day. It can be a different weight. Your body has different metabolism. Not everybody's body is created the same, and everybody has like, your body wants to be a certain weight, or it wants to be at the stasis of that certain weight, and it may not be the weight that you think you should be at, which is valid and completely fine. However, when you step on the scale every morning and you don't see it change, then it's frustrating, and it gets you upset, or you don't think it's working. And then one day you'll drop like 5 pounds from the other day, and you're like, what happened? And it's like, well, your body changed, or it was that time of the month and now it's not anymore, and so you dropped all the water weight. So it's frustrating. It's toxic. All diet culture is toxic. But if there's something that works for you, then stick with it. I don't know if I'm going to be continuing with Noom. I liked it to begin with, but it started to feel like a chore. And once things feel like a chore, then I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I have to make things fun, and engaging with myself. Otherwise, I just won't do it. Or I lose interest really fast. I'm not even going to worry about you. You're done. I started the Just Dance game. The first time I ever played it is the newest version for the Switch. Oh my god, I'm having such a fun time. And I think the reason why I'm having such a fun time is because it's distracting, and it's a challenge, and it's a game. So I really liked the Ring Fit, and so I played that for a while. But with this, it's like, it's fun, it's engaging. I feel like I'm actually like working out because I'm sweating up a storm, and it doesn't feel like torture. I had a couple just one workout, yeah. A Jillian Michaels DVD that was like strength training and like supposed to, have you get fit or, whatever in 30 days. And I was like, all right, well, cool. I'll try it out. Found it at the thrift store. Thought, well, worst case scenario, it was like $1. And oh my God, it was torturous. She really is a lot. And so I did that for a little bit, and then it just got to the point where I'm like, this is not fun for me. I feel like I'm just, I'm literally hurting myself. And again, with fibro, it's one of those things where you have to like figure out how much your body can handle, and then how it can, bounce back from it. So you don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it, because then you're not getting the benefits of the exercise. And so it's this constant like cat and mouse game. So usually when you talk to people who have a chronic illness or something like fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, they're going to say, oh yeah, like it put on pounds for me because of the medication, and then the fact that they're playing cat and mouse with how much they can exercise or move around or, function during the day. So it definitely can get frustrating, and figuring out what works for you food-wise and what works for you exercise-wise is going to be a lot harder than the average person who doesn't have something like that. So for me, I'm always trying to find the next thing that I can do to help stay healthy. And again, it's also me being more determined with the choices that I eat. Like, not saying that I eat terrible, because I don't, but I do like to indulge. Vegetarian in and of itself is not hard to do. There's definitely ways to have really good meals with just veggies or meat substitutes. I still don't know how I feel about the Impossible Burger. These look like chicken feet. Round it out. I don't know if this is how reindeer look. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and figuring it out. Listen, did I say I was an artist? No. Oh, God. This is the first time I'm trying this out, so bear with me. They look awful, but that's alright. That's alright. I'm just gonna go with it. It's alright. It's alright. Continually tell myself. Oh, I wanted to put the eyes on these guys. No wonder. Oh, well, that's what I get for being distracted. That's alright. We can fix it. Hold on. Let's see. What size? I want them to kind of be dorky looking. Let's see, are these going to be too big? Like, I want... Oh, no, no. Oh, my gosh. Stop it. Well, that's too bad for you, Okay, I kind of like this size. I think that'll be cute. I'm picturing, like, the Wallace and Gromit animation style. That's kind of like... Oh, no. Get it together. Get it together. It's all right. Yeah, derpy little eyes like that. Oh, gosh. They look like chicken feet. I need to do, like... There. That looks a little bit more... Oh, I crack myself up. I have not been watching any movies yet, any Christmas movies. I have not had the time, actually. But I will always manage to watch Home Alone and Nightmare Before Christmas. But we have been watching the new Wheel of Time series. So that's partly why I haven't been... There, that's what I want to see. Haven't been watching any Christmas movies. I really love the Hallmark movies that come out. Like, I'm not a Hallmark Christmas movie junkie or anything. Like, I don't... Like, it's not what I go to. Like, that time of year. Like, it's not my... Like, oh, I've got to watch Hallmark movies. But it's just fun every once in a while to watch them because it's kind of like just a feel good, like, you know what's gonna happen, you know, like the story plot, they're all the same. It's just kind of in a way comforting to watch them. But they're kind of also the movies that I have playing on in the background when I'm doing something else. So, like, when I'm doing chores or whatever. Because, like, it's not like you need to really know what's going on. Like, you know what the plot's going to be already. And you know what's going to end up happening. I did like the one with Vanessa Hudgens. What was it? The Christmas Witch or the Christmas Princess, I think that's what it was. And there's like 3 of them now. But I watched the first 2 and I was like, all right, this is cute. I mean, it's silly, but it's cute. let's see, the other Christmas movies. I just saw that Hulu has Jingle All the Way now, and that used to be a staple in our household. I almost said John Travolta. It's not John Travolta. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's such a fun movie, like a ridiculous movie, but fun. And then I always love watching the Santa Claus. I don't like the other ones. I feel like the other ones, like, were just a cash grab. Nothing wrong with trying to keep the Christmas spirit going. But the storylines for me just didn't add up. But yeah, I always liked the first Santa Claus and Bernard, head elf. And then, oh, you can't forget Elf. That one is a great one. And I always manage, like, people will ask you, like, oh, what's the saying from a movie that you say all the time? And mine comes from Elf. It's like, hi, buddy, I hope you find your dad. What are your guys' must-see holiday movies? Oh, Christmas Vacation. Then why is the carpet wet, Todd? I love that one so much. Yeah, this whole season is extra indulging, yeah. It's looking blind. That's okay. Have I ever made a fruitcake? No, I have not made a fruitcake. And quite frankly, I don't know if I'd like a fruitcake. I don't think I've ever had one, actually. Maybe? But no, I've not ever made a fruitcake. Okay, good. You see the Wallace and Gromit too. Okay. The Princess Switch, that's what it was. Yeah, okay. It was cute. I didn't mind it. Like, I knew what I was getting into when I turned it on. But at the same time, I was just like, okay, reality. I don't know how this would actually be. But that's the great thing about Hallmark movies. I kind of want to give him like a little tuft of hair here. I don't know how I want to do the nose yet. If I want to do the light tan, or if I want to do just a I don't know. I think maybe the light tan. But I like the idea of having like a little tuft of hair here. These are looking ridiculous. Ridiculously good looking. Unless I messed that up. Whatever. Like I said, they're not going to anybody, so I'm not particularly caring. Yeah, they definitely give you a Christmassy feeling. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, The Sound of Music. So when last year I finally watched that for the first time in like the longest time, I totally forgot about the intermission. And when it came up, I was like, Oh, we still have like an hour and some odd minutes left to go with this movie. Oh my god. I forgot how long it was. Oh, thanks, Tamara. Oh, The Grinch. Yeah. That movie is saucy. I can see fruitcake being tedious. Absolutely. I I know that when you add fruit to any kind of cake, so like cherries, blueberries, anything like that, you have to coat them in flour. Otherwise, they'll sink to the bottom. And so with the fruitcake, I can imagine it being even more tedious. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that you coat it in flour. You coat it in something. Thank you, Great British Bake Off. I haven't seen Krampus. I want to, but I'm kind of afraid to see it. Cause like I really like the lore of Krampus, and I find it quite hilarious. I don't know if I could watch the movie though. Yeah. Oh, I see someone on Twitch. Sorry. Hi, Casserole Polly. Thank you. All right. Let's see. I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit more. You can see that they're not quite crusted over yet. And then I'm going to think about how I want to do like their nose. And I think I'll add like a little smile line with the marker. But I can't do any of that until they're completely dry, or the marker at least, because otherwise I will push through the top little part of the crust and then it's just destroyed. It's not that scary. Oh, that's good. The Bake Off shows are so good. I've learned so much from them. Yeah. Oh, there's a Canadian version? Listen, I've been like just enamored with a lot of the Canadian stuff. Like, I know that there are a lot of Canadian YouTubers, and I know that there are a lot of like films or movies that were filmed in Canada. So like it's just really amazing. It's one of the places that I want to visit. Like I want to visit the world, but okay. So let me swap these out. These are looking so ridiculous. All right, let's get back to the wreaths and then we'll do some baby Yodas because I want to make sure I have enough frosting. Oh, oh, oh. Flawless execution. All right. Because the Baby Yoda has the same situation where you need to like do it in layers. Put you over there. We'll finish these wreaths. So at least we'll have one. Well, actually the mittens are done too. So we'll have a few finished cookies. And these poor sprinkles that have just found a home on the towel. You can even take the wreaths and do like a coating, a color coat on the background first, so they're not such like an empty color. I didn't because again, like I'm not one that likes a lot of frosting, so sometimes less is more. Put Krampus on my list this year. I think my husband watched that. So I'll have to ask him if he watched it, if he did, like if he thinks that we could watch it together and I won't get nightmares. I'm very particular about my horror movies that I watch. Like, I know what I can handle and what I can't handle. And my husband's pretty good about judging that, too. He's like, I've known you long enough now to know what you be into and what you're not. And, like, I always have to watch them, too, like, in the daytime. Like, I'm not watching any horror movie, like, an hour before bedtime. My favorite Christmas film is a Hallmark film called Holiday in Handcuffs. Oh! I think I've seen that. Okay, so I loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and so when Hallmark started using Melissa Joan Hart, I was like all about it. So I think I saw that, and the one where, I don't think it's a holiday one, where they pretend to be married and she's with Joey. So they get all the wedding gifts from their fake wedding, and I can't remember. They ended up like falling in love or something after the fact, but like he pretended to be her fiance so they can get all of the wedding gifts. It was an interesting concept. I can't remember what it was called, but it was cute enough. Thanks, Rochelle. Vancouver and Toronto. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Especially with a lot of the like Disney Channel movies, they film a lot in Canada instead of filming in New York City because it's cheaper. And then there's like a tax write-off as well. Something about like lower tax for filming there. Oh my gosh, these are cute. All right. At least I did cute wreaths. At least these cookies look nice. These look at least professional in my opinion. But you guys can see the difference in the frosting consistency and how it's used differently. I am not an expert. I do this for fun, so I also do this for like when I just want to zone out. It's great to zone out, just to like do it for yourself. If you have the time and the energy to do something creative, cookie decorating is great for that. And it gives you the opportunity to be a little bit more daring with your creativity too. You know, figuring out what kind of cookie cutter would work for what you're going for. And if it doesn't work, how do you make that work in a new way? I don't know if it's as forgiving as cake decorating, because cake decorating, I don't know, maybe they're about the same when it comes to mistakes. With cakes, you have to worry about the crumb coat. Ooh, no, that's all right. So, you know, you have to make sure that when you're decorating the cake, you have that crumb coating, and then that is called a crumb coat, so you coat all of the crumbs and they don't come back into your the final frosting that you do. But that also means it's a little less forgiving too. Like you can't just scrape off the frosting and reuse it. cute. I was gonna try to make a Christmas tree with this too, with the leaves. Let's see. Whenever I bake cookies too, I like to make sure that I have like designs that will work with the colors. Like they will all use the same similar colors, just because it's hard to like make your frosting go a long way. What did I do with my, there it is. Oh, Bad Santa. I remember that. Sorry, that one just caught my eye. Let me scroll back up. Fat Man. Huh. That's funny, Tamara. I'm gonna have to look into that. I love raunchy movies. Like, my formidable years were like Will Ferrell and Seth Rogen comedies. Like, I don't get offended easily when it comes to all that stuff because, like, that was comedy back then, you know? Like, the raunchy stuff, I don't know. It is what it is. It's funny to me, I guess. Hi, Harthers. I still need to watch Midsummer. I'm terrified to watch it, though. Oh my god, The Witcher. Absolutely. The first season was, like, I'd never played the video game. But, yeah, loved it. Cannot wait for season 2. We'll see how this works. I'm running out of this frosting. No, there we go. Gotta layer it up so this has to set before I do the next one. So, let's try a little Grogu. So, like I said earlier, this was an angel cookie cutter, and I just chopped the head off before I baked them. So you can pretty much do a lot of this kind of manipulation with your cookie cutters while you're cutting them out. So, for instance, if you wanted just this bottom shape and then you had another shape and you wanted to kind of put them together to create another one, you can do that too. It's fun to experiment. So the goal here is his head, his ears, the coat being his body, and then once that dries, I can go in and put the hands, the little arms across like he's holding the cup or whatever. So we'll see. I know he has like a little scarf doohickey thing. The coat kind of goes up above his face a little bit, and then the body. I kind of wanted to make it so that this little guy was textured, because the way that the coat looks, but it's not gonna work with this because of the texture or the consistency of the frosting. But we're having a play. We're having a play. I don't know. This might be like the wrong color of green, but that's alright too. Okay, well, he doesn't have a triangle head, Natasha. It's kind of like a weird oval. wait for this guy. Hi, Sachi. Oh, you're making cookies too? Love it. Ooh, I love just thunder and lightning. Thunder only happens. Oh no, that was too long. I'm sorry. I mean, that's something. I baked a lot. So I had I made a double batch. So there's a lot. So we're definitely not doing them all tonight. But I kind of just wanted to have a play and see what we thought of the, so I have some candy canes here too that we can do real fast while these are kind of crusting over. But yeah, so I usually make a lot at one time, because then if I have any mistakes or I don't like how the design's turning out, I can move on to the next. But yeah, I usually make a lot because I don't know the meaning of the word stop. Do you guys make gingerbread cookies too? Because that's something I haven't done since I was little. Like itty bitty baby. And I like the taste of it. I just haven't ventured into making them from scratch in a long time. I also wanted to make a gingerbread house this year, but I don't know how I'm going to get to that. We'll see. Maybe I can get to that. I like the idea of getting like Target's store-bought gingerbread house and putting it together and making a video review on it for you guys, and maybe for the second channel. No, that didn't turn out right, but whatever. I had bought Trader Joe's haunted house gingerbread last year, and I just never made a video on it. Wasn't a big fan of that one. I didn't check this year to see if they had one. Our Trader Joe's tends to be very busy and tends to be very crowded, and I just avoid it at all cost. In fact, like lately, I kind of been refusing to go out if I don't have to. These are so tiny. Chia pet. Oh, cute. Cute. Oh, Tamara, they weren't earlier. They were not. They were very much all up in our business. At least Simon was. They've calmed down now. They were chasing a cat that likes to come tease them. Stray kitty cat. We have like 5 now that have been coming around because they know that we're the house in the neighborhood that has, you know, sympathy for them. So they come around looking for food, and then they know that the dogs can see them through the slider in the window, and so they're like, "Oh, hi guys. I'm just going to tease you." And so they were barking up a storm, and then Simon just decided he wanted to beg and throw a tantrum, which he does quite well, let me add. He knows how to throw a good tantrum. Kids. But to be fair, he learned it from his mama. No. Direction. Let's fix that. There. So I was playing Just Dance, and then they have like the dancers that you're supposed to follow. They're like dressed in different costumes and you know, different themes. And one song I was dancing to, I was like, oh my god, this is like a really bad flashback. Because it was like I'm gonna say an emos type song, very pop punk from like the early 2000s, and they were dressed in like, the girls were dressed in like a fedora, a vest over another shirt with a belt that goes around the waist, and leggings and boots, and I was just like, I dressed like that. I remember vividly dressing like that. It was very funny, but they have like a bunch of different attire too. I don't know why I got on that subject, but that just came to my head. Don't get a bleeding in there now. Whatever. I should have did the white first. I know now. That's still a candy cane. Ooh. From dreams, of course. Oh, good. I'm glad. We had some Christmas music on earlier that from this station channel thing that I play for you guys, because it's not copywritten music. And it just kept repeating the same like 5 songs, and I couldn't handle it anymore. So it's back to a relaxing station. Ginger snaps, aw. Cute. Oh, thank you. Good night, Rowan. Thanks for hanging out, sweetie. Bread pudding. Oh. Yeah, I'm a sucker for anything baked. I'm trying to branch out and try to make my own bread. I've made challah, and it's turned out really, really decent, I guess you'd say. I have not tried like anything like sourdough or anything like that, and I really want to at least start making more bread recipes, because I am a sucker for bread. I love bread. And then, you know, being able to say that you made your own bread, and then you could put that, because like I love soups too. And so like whenever we have soup or I make soup, I have to have a loaf of bread to go along with it. Same with my husband, so we can like sop up the soup. So being able to like make all of those things would be awesome. Just have like a big old meal. Oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock already? Jeez. So I didn't think about putting anything in the center of the wreaths. I was just more or less trying to see if this was going to work. I should have done like a wash of color in the background, but yeah, I was more or less trying to think of whether or not the leaf would work the way that it did. All right, Rochelle, thanks for hanging out. Thank you. You should. Brian, a bread maker. Nice. I would probably never leave the house again if I bought a bread maker. I don't think that would be good for me. Oh, now I'm starting to shake. Shaky hands. So you can see how once that one little section crusts over, you can have that little definition without having like extra lines or anything like that. All right, him's got him's little coat. Hi, Ellen. And there's also this stuff called luster dust that you can dry brush on the frosting when it dries, and it creates like a little soft color. And so I don't think I have a pink one, but I was thinking, oh, that would be so cute for his inner ears and maybe on his cheeks. Oh my god, that's cute. Okay. All right. We've redeemed ourselves. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I'm liking it. My sister-in-law, basically my sister, but just for clarification, she's actually the one that taught me how to decorate cookies. She is amazing at it, and I'm absolutely in awe of her talents. and her patience. But she's the one that taught me, because I asked nicely and I was like, I really want to try this. I want to learn, and I feel like you could teach me the ways of the world. And she's like, oh yeah. Because I watched videos and stuff like that. But, she would do it, and she would do such a great job. Shout out if you're watching, sis. So she spent some time with me. So, like, this kind of stuff has, like, good memories for me. Baking and, like, especially cookie decorating, because, like, it goes way back. So, like, childhood memories, and then, like, in recent years, we would bake, and, it's just such a lovely thing to do with somebody else, and to, like, spend time and just enjoy the company and the camaraderie of baking. Okay, that's kind of cute, though. Tell me that's not cute. Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna need more green. All right. I thought about tarot card cookies. Yeah, I was gonna do that for Halloween, and I ran out of time. I was thinking about just doing like a card, and doing really, like, intricate border, and then doing like a moon, and then doing like a star and a sun, basic tarot card looking like stuff, so that you would, like, get the hint. But yeah, there's no way I'm that talented to do, like, an actual scene. Yeah, it was very fun. She taught me, I think it was over, like, so we did mermaid cookies, like sea and mermaid cookies, I think. Hi, Jan. I am. Thank you. Hi, Prologue. Yeah, Baby Yoda's. I've got some more of him to do. Let's see. These reindeer, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Let me make sure I've got enough frosting for the Baby Yodas. We'll do... Yeah, I can't not say Baby Yoda. That's what they get for taking so long to reveal his name. Everybody gets stuck on one thing. One name, and now I can't think of anything else but that. I'm conditioned. At least I know they taste good. I tried one yesterday. I tried a broken one. That's, like, one thing I can count on, at least, is, like, I know when I bake something, at least if it breaks, I have a taste test. And I know, okay, it tastes good. We're in the clear. Yeah, same. I love mermaids. Absolutely. We did a mermaid theme for my 30th birthday. I have a thing about parties and themes. Like, I have to have a theme for them. Like, If it involves dress up of any kind, like costumes, sign me up. I am there. Um, I love a party with a theme. I love baking with a theme. So like for instance, the nibblings, if they have, if they need baked goods for their party, I love it because then I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? What can I make? What can we do? I made one of my nieces an actual, like with the doll in the cake, Ariel cake for her birthday. I made mermaid themed cupcakes with the tails sticking out, cake pops. What else have I done? We did a masquerade theme for my husband's birthday one year, and so I made like mask cookies, cupcakes. I hate making cake pops though. Those sons of guns are like the worst. Trying to get the cake to stick on the pops. Like, you can freeze that frosting. I don't know how many times, how many hours worth. It still doesn't stick. And it's like, you have to have the like right consistency with them. And I just never seem to make them right. But cookies I can figure out, and cake. And my mom, like, her specialty is a German chocolate cake. So, not my favorite type of cake, to be honest. I don't know what it is. It's the frosting, I think, for me, that I'm not a fan of. But oh my God, that and cheesecake. She makes the best cheesecake. And so every year for my birthday, she's always like, you want your cheesecake? Tell me now so I can prep. I was like, you know I want my cheesecake. You know. That's something that I have not attempted because I know how finicky cheesecake is, and I don't got the patience. And like, the water bath scares me. I'm like, I'm already clumsy as it is. I don't need to be taking out a tray full of water and a cake. Oh gosh. Tamara. Yeah, it's Baby Yoda. He's not Christmas. It was just one of those things where I got my Christmas cookie cutters out and I saw the angel cookie and I was like, oh yeah, I was going to try that. So let's make it. I mean, I guess he could kind of be Christmassy if we like decorated him in a way. I mean, everybody makes him into a meme of ridiculousness now. Like, he's like the new minion, right? the new face of crazy memes on Facebook. Oh, yeah, drama team. Definitely. I was in the band. I did hang out with the theater kids, though. My husband is a theater kid. And then I dabbled in it, and then dabbled in it more so in middle school. And then, like, the out of college years, I'll say, then I got into community theater for a little bit. Yeah, any kind of like dress up I'm here for, and like acting is fun. I can't really do acting now because like my memory is not good. So like I can't really remember lines very well. Like I can't, like it just doesn't, the fibro has completely effed that up for me. So like I forget what I just read and then like trying to remember, like, no, just, it's not gonna happen unless I've like watched the movie from birth until now and then know the lines. It's not gonna happen. Oh, Gizmo, yeah. The Gremlins, yes. Isn't that considered a Christmas movie too? Oh my gosh, how could I forget Die Hard? That's a movie that we watch every year too. My husband has I bought him a Christmas sweater that says, yippee-ki-yay, vulgar word, and it has the police car and it lights up. He loves it. Oh, Batman. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, how fun. See, that's my kind of cup of tea. Like, plan parties and like dress up parties for no reason though too. It's like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna have like, we did a Game of Thrones party when the season premiere for the last season, the season which we will not name, came out, and like we didn't dress up or anything, but like the whole house was like Game of Thrones themed, and like we did cookies. I made dinosaur egg cookies. I made a Daenerys cake that was dragon scaled, and then what else did I make? Had fire and ice cupcakes, and I had teacups and tea for Lady Olenna. I think that was her name. I can't remember now. And then what else? I had other things planned that I didn't do. But then we had like a potluck, so everybody brought something, and we had wine. We had a lot of wine. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then the season just decided that it wasn't going to, follow any consistent writing styles at all. So, or character development that happened throughout the first 7 seasons. But, make that money. I'm not bitter or anything. I loved that show before the last season. I had such high hopes. And I was a huge Daenerys fan. 'Cause like, I understood where they were going with the story and why they chose to go that route. But like, her whole character development just went out the window. But I was also a huge Arya fan, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised about Sansa's character arc. I was really pleasantly surprised that she stopped being a brat, and making everything about her. Like, I mean, I could imagine with everything that her character went through, that would make her into a different person completely. But I'm glad that they chose to go that route, is what I'm trying to say, and made her a stronger, fierce character to rival Cersei. Sorry, tangent. They were so good. They were so good, and unfortunately, they were not. Like, nobody took them home. They took some home, but like I was left with a lot of it, and so yeah, your girl indulged quite a bit. I really enjoy baking and creating an experience, I guess I'll say. I love throwing parties. This past couple years, with everything happening, it kind of sucks because like 2020, we finally had the time to like, my husband and I both had the time to, because, we weren't working, the panini, and we were just like, oh, we could finally get all of this done, and then we can go, do this, that, and the other. And they were like, oh, wait, that's not smart. Like, what are we thinking about? Like, you have those thoughts where it's like, oh yeah, let's invite such and such over. Let's go do this thing. And it's like, oh, there's a reason why we're not doing that. you kind of catch yourself. And so, yeah, it was like one of those things where we finally have like the time, and we, want to play all of these board games and game night and do all of this. And it's like, oh yeah, no, we can't, because that's not why we have the time. So yeah, it was kind of sad, but we're slowly getting back there where, we can finally have events, maybe, hopefully. And I don't really do or go anywhere now until, I only do things that I know the people that will be around me are vaccinated. And I know that's probably, it sounds exclusionary, but it's for my own safety. And, when you have a chronic illness or what's the word I'm looking for? Your immune system is not, the healthiest, then you can't take risks. You can't, just say, oh, hope for the best. Like, I still don't even really want to go anywhere or do anything, even though I am vaccinated. Like, it's scary. It's a scary time. And I think everybody has a right to feel like, feel how they want to feel about it. But, I miss parties. I miss being able to hang out with your friends. I miss feeling like I can go and do what I want without being afraid of, if I went out that day, what's going to happen. Yeah, the holidays definitely feel different this year again. I don't honestly have the spirit in me. Like, last year, I definitely did not. This year, I want to. Like, the difference is, like, how do I want to explain it? So, like, I don't have it in me, but I want to have it in me. Like, I want to feel like, it's Christmas time, it's Yule time, it's happy time, but I don't. And I think that's how a lot of people are feeling. And again, that is completely valid and okay. It's one of those things that really kind of stinks, because you want to feel the same as you used to do. And maybe feel a part of something or feel the holiday nostalgia, but I don't have it in me this year. Like, I really wanted to, like, it was hard putting up the tree too. Like, as much, every year I say it too, like, it's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the hassle. And this year I was like, do I really, that's a big head. Do I really want to? And then, I had asked you guys, and you said that you would enjoy it, and I was like, you know what? That's the answer for me then. If you guys would enjoy it, then, then it's worth it for me. But, and every time I finish doing the tree, I'm like, okay, yeah, this was a good idea. It's just one of those things where, like, sometimes it feels like the effort is not worth it, like, for the end result. For instance, like, we're probably not going to do anything for Christmas again this year. And so it's like, why put up the tree if nobody's going to come over and see it? And then it's like, but you want to see it. You want to feel, inspired by it, or like see the memories and the nostalgia from it. And so, I think we got to be more mindful of that for ourselves too. And like, just because you don't feel like you're in the Christmas spirit, something might make you feel that way soon, or that it might not feel this way forever, that, and for me, it's a different type of a problem too. Like, I don't have kids, so it's not like, I'm seeing things through their eyes, or, spending the holidays with just them in my little bubble. It's like, I don't have kids. So it's almost like, what's the point of the holidays? in that sense. So, I can relate to those of you who are not feeling the holiday spirit, is all I'm trying to say. It's difficult. It's difficult now. It's probably not going to feel normal for quite some time. But thank goodness for technology and being able to stay in touch that way. Autoimmune disorder. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Oh yeah. The Game of Thrones, like it took me like 3 times, I think, to like finally sit down and watch it. Like I would watch the first episode, and then the way that I work with watching things, like I have to be if it's a show that I have to be completely immersed in, like Game of Thrones, then I cannot be doing anything else. I have to just strictly watch the show. But how I like to watch movies and TV is like I'm always doing something with my hands, and so I have to be in the mood to watch it so I can be sit still and like just focus on the TV. So like now we're watching the Wheel of Time, and you kind of have to like watch everything. So like I have to make sure that, okay, I'm in the mood to sit down. I don't have to fiddle with anything. Like for an hour, I can sit here for an hour and watch it. But like you have to go in with that mindset, at least for me. But yeah, that show was bonkers. It was amazing. But it was definitely one of those shows that your emotions just went all over the place. Yeah, I'm sorry about that too, Tamara. It sucks. I mean, it's great that like we can empathize and we can relate and know like, okay, yeah, I know exactly how you're feeling. But at the same time, it just sucks. It's not fun. New restrictions, yeah. California's going to do that too, with the mask mandate again, which doesn't bother me because I've not changed. Just that when you're indoors now that you have to wear it. Whereas before you didn't have to if you were vaccinated. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, you have to decorate for yourself. Absolutely. Yeah, the distracting definitely helps. And, I'm not terribly far away from other relatives, so that helps too. I know some people who are states away from their family, so that makes it hard, especially in this time of year. But I just wanted to extend my my feelings, I guess, just to let you guys know that I get it and that like I understand, because I go through bouts of that stuff too, and like the holiday season is the worst. People have lost loved ones, not just last year, this year, but I'm just saying like around the holiday times, those of us who have lost loved ones, it's hard, and it's a difficult time of year to just pass through the motions. So there's just a lot that comes with the holiday seasons, and I think that me expressing that I understand is important. I think more people need to be more open about like how their mental health is and how they're dealing. I think it's important to check in on everybody. I think if you haven't checked in on a loved one or a friend in a while, maybe it's time to do so. Just a little, hey, how's it going? And you would be surprised at how much that's helpful. Just checking in. And it doesn't even have to be, hey, I'm checking in on you. It's just like, hey, how's your day? Hey, what's your plans? Or that sort of a thing. There are a lot of people going through it. So, and you may not even know it. So those people that, the minute that I brought up this, that you're like, oh yeah, I haven't checked on Sally. Check on Sally tomorrow, or, send a text, see how Sally's doing. 'Cause it's a hard time of year for everybody. regardless of your whatever you've been going through. So this, I really enjoyed just hanging out with you guys and spreading some, I guess, holiday cheer. We've talked about quite the craziness tonight, me and my tangents. But yeah, I think it's important that we have open dialogue about how we're feeling, how we're doing, and making sure that we're checking in on friends and relatives and letting them know that, you know, they're not alone. Yeah, it's definitely a different type of holiday season, and hopefully next year it'll be a little bit better. Yeah, positive connection, absolutely. I know I'm terrible at it. I'm the type of person that if I'm going through something, I just shut down and I shut in. I'm just, and it's not even like a conscious decision. It's just, I find myself like shutting down. And, then, you know, the whole time blindness comes in and like, suddenly I get a text message, hey, I haven't talked to you in forever. And I'm like, oh, hi. Yeah, sorry. You know? So yeah, positive connection. It's important. It's very important just to reach out, because you never know. You might just make somebody's day, their week, their month, or even their year. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed this. I love hanging out with you guys. I'm going to probably, call it a night. I'm exhausted. But I will post what they look like finished. I gotta definitely mix some more frosting colors. Figure out what I'm gonna do about the reindeer's nose. But yeah, I'm very happy that we got to have a chill night and cozy night and do something in the holiday spirit. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Again, reach out to those people in your life that you haven't reached out to in a while. Spend some time with yourself. Do some self-care practices. I enjoy each and every one of you. Thank you for hanging out. I'll keep you guys updated on my community page about, you know, the next lives that are coming up. I need to figure out my own schedule with family and what we're doing. So I'll always keep you updated on that community tab. So if you have any concerns or questions about when the next live is going to be, or what's coming up, everything will be down there. So, or on that page. And then also I've got TikTok and Instagram as well. And you guys, if you ever need to like reach out, you can reach me. Mostly you can reach me on my email. I'll see that before I see Instagram direct message. But those two, you can reach out for that too. So, all right. That being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.